Welcome back. Right here in downtown Chipley, Florida. Here for a sort of momentous occasion, I would say. Here with Francis Hayes now, longtime barber in Chipley. We can talk about cosmetologists, we can talk about salons, we can talk about all kinds of food stuff, but at the end of the day, this guy is the real deal. We're talking about a barber, we're talking about a haircut, not a hairstyling. Mr. Hayes, thanks for taking the opportunity, first of all, for spending a few minutes with us this morning and talking a little bit about what you've experienced here in downtown Chipley over the years.
Chipley's been a wonderful little town. I'll tell you, fellas like Kurt and all them young ladies standing over there, they've all been a big help for me. It's good to be here.
I tell you, again, in this day of boutique offerings, you offered what truly is a haircut. And let's start at the beginning. Where did you learn how to cut hair?
Well, I learned in Jacksonville about 50 some odd years ago.
Now, was that through the military, or how did you go about it?
Oh, I was down there in school in Jacksonville and came back here, and I've been right next door to the bank all them years.
Now, it's a small, relatively small physical space, but I've driven by there many times since we've been here in downtown Chipley and hardly ever see the situation where you don't have some kind of a line waiting to get haircuts. I would imagine that you've cut the same heads many times over and again over the years. How many regular customers would you say that you've accumulated over the years?
Thousands. You see that fella right there?
I do.
When I started out on him, he had a full head of hair. See, he's outgrown his hair, see?
I got to ask the question, and I'm probably skipping ahead here. What do you think of the new wave? And it's not new anymore, obviously, been going on for quite a while. The salon. You've got guys going into places having their hair styled, paying lots of money. If you look at me, you can tell I don't spend a lot of money on haircuts because I believe in the basics and I just want to be comfortable. But what do you think about that, and how did it affect your business as time went on?
Well, it didn't affect mine at all. Never had any problem with that.
What is the single biggest challenge to a barber in his career as far as running a business as an independent business such as yourself?
Well, it's just a way of making a living. That's a big thing. You got to learn to mix with the crowd.
Now, obviously, you were successfully able to provide for your family for all of those years. How many years exactly was it that you cut hair?
Well, about 70 years was all. My dad was a barber here for years, and I stayed with it till last week.
A bittersweet occasion. How do you plan to spend your days now that you're not going to be standing behind that chair?
Well, since I'm doing that, I'm going to be out in the yard, mowing the yard, if we can ever get the man out there to fix a lawnmower again.
Well, you're quitting at a good time of year. We're starting to get a little nip in the air, a little bit of autumn. Mornings are a little bit cooler. These are the days where you use your heat to go to work in the morning and your air conditioning going back home. But we're going to be having some of what I consider the best weather of the year, so obviously you're going to be able to enjoy some of those chores. Are you ready for football season?
Well, yeah, I'm ready. We can keep up with what's going on then.
How do you feel about business in Chipley? Obviously, we've had some boom years, we've had some bust years, obviously being in sort of a situation we're having some economic heartburn right now. We have some indicators that looks like things are getting a little better, with other things not so much. What have you experienced cyclically going through the years as a business person in Chipley?
Well, I think it's one of the best places in the world to be.
In a small town, and it's not the opposite way in a big town, but sometimes we get caught up in the fast living and lots more people than you find in a small town like this. But in a small town, it is all about neighbors helping neighbors, people doing business with neighbors. By and large, did most of your clientele come from the immediate area of Chipley?
Yeah. I've had a lot of them from Chipley. That's what's kept me here all these years. My dad, he was in the business about 30 years up in the other end of town. I had an uncle that was in the barber business. They've all gone on. And I'm counting on spending another 50 years and not be doing no haircut.
What are you going to miss the most about operating a business in general, but certainly being a barber and being able to deal with all those folks on a daily basis?
Well, a lot of times I'd get a hold of a tale, you know, and then I'd have to rephrase it and send it out again. A lot of stuff.
I would imagine that there are a lot of rumors, a lot of stories, maybe true and maybe not so much, told in your shop over the years. You've heard about a lot of big fish, I would imagine, and a lot of big deer being shot. What's the most memorable story that you can think of?
Well, I think about the biggest one I ever heard. We had an old painter here one time. Mr. Wells pulled his new Cadillac around there. And I told him, I said, the best thing to do is leave him alone. He's a painter. And he bought that new automobile and he went up there and parked it. And this fella was a painting, and he painted the whole top of that car, and he told him not to park it there. But from then on, he learned to park and listen to what that fella told him. So we've had a lot of experiences in this town.
What was the response when people find out that you were finally going to put down the clippers, finally put down the comb and the scissors, and take a little bit of time for yourself?
Well, I think they willing for it. Of course, I got my old barber chair out there at the house, so if one of them gets in a tight, we'll give him another haircut.
That's about the most comfortable chair in the world as far as I'm concerned, the original barber chairs. Did you give a true razor shave?
Yes,
did you offer that?
Yeah. In fact, I got more people wanting them old razors than anything else.
Well, to me, there's no more clean, crisp feeling than a true barber straight razor shave. I say that and people look at me kind of funny, but I truly believe. And it's a lost art. Do they actually use straight razors in the cosmetology school anymore?
Well, you're not supposed to do it anymore. But back in them days, you could do it, you know. In fact, I'm going to keep mine and give it to the grand young'uns.
And you never know, if you go to a dance, you just may want to have that in your back pocket.
Well, no, I never have been in a dance that's that rough.
Well, we got the rodeo dance coming up now, so you never know.
Well, I'm not much on horse riding either. So I'll be at home. I'll just let the crowd go with that.
Is there anything that you would offer, anything that you'd like to say to the people in Chipley in general, but certainly your customers going forward?
Well, I love all of them. They've been a blessing to me.
It's a tough thing to stop doing business, but I would just imagine that you're not going to have any lack of people stopping by, saying hello, offering their best to you.
Oh, I'll have a lot of that. See that little lady right there? She's one keeps me going. And I got a son-in-law very big enough if things got rough, I'll call for him. He can scare his own wife.
I got to ask you, do you have a honey-do list that's going to keep you busy?
Oh, yeah, I always look forward to that. In fact, she's going to let me get out in the yard and mow it when we get through.
We really appreciate you taking the time today.
Well, it's certainly my pleasure.
Obviously, you're here for other reasons. The bank has got a little surprise. It's not so much of a surprise party, but I see behind us here we've got some balloons and some party stuff going on.
Well, this is the first time I ever remember this happening in the bank.
Well, again, thank you for taking the time today, and the best of luck going forward. I hope that you live another 100 years and enjoy your retirement. What
would be the chance of getting you to go by there and help me mow the yards? I'll put you on the list. As soon as we get the mower running, you can just ride all you want to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you talking to me?
Yeah.
I'm
not talking to them. I'm talking to you.
When my wife and I moved from Panama City Beach up here to Washington County, I told her that she could have as big a place as she wanted as long as she was prepared to mow the yard. And so I have to defer to her, but I'll tell you what, I will give her your number, and we'll see what we can work out.
All right. Just tell her to give me a call.
Here now with Francis Hayes at Capital City Bank in downtown Chipley. Again, Francis, thank you so much, and the best of luck going forward, and hope to maybe talk to you again soon.
Well, my pleasure. And any time we'd be glad to see you. Just come on by.
Here again with Francis Hayes here at downtown Chipley. A momentous occasion, bittersweet. After this many years cutting hair, Mr. Hayes is retiring. We'll be right back.